On January 6th, President Donald Trump's intention was to remain President of the United States, despite the lawful outcome of the 2020 election and in violation of his constitutional obligation to relinquish power. Over multiple months, Donald Trump oversaw and coordinated a sophisticated 7-part plan to overturn the presidential election and prevent the transfer of presidential power.
It's been over a year since the House launched its own investigation into the January 6th insurrection, laying out what lawmakers say was a multi-step plan to overturn the 2020 election. That investigation and the subsequent criminal referral influenced the latest federal indictment against Donald Trump. And joining us now, the former lead investigator for the House January 6th committee, Timothy Haffey. And Tim, it's great to have you on the show. You know, so many who rioted on January 6th are living the consequence of those actions, defaming the Capitol, threatening the lives of our lawmakers, of Nancy Pelosi, of Mike Pence. And it hurts that these people were so terribly misled by lies and conspiracy theories, and some, one could argue, are Donald Trump's lies and Donald Trump's conspiracy theories that he was pushing to try and overturn an election. But this exactly what's happening right here is not what this indictment is about specifically. It's about defrauding the United States, obstructing a proceeding and that riot, conspiracy against rights, the rights of voters to decide who the president will be. 4 counts focusing on Donald Trump's actions. And that's what Jack Smith, again, will have to prove in the court of law to a jury of 12, that these actions happened by President Trump. I'm just wondering how much of what you uncovered during the January 6th investigation measures up to what you're seeing in this indictment.
Mika, it reads very, very similar to our report. It was quite familiar to me reading the indictment because almost everything in there was part of what we presented. You just showed a clip of Vice Chair Cheney's opening statement in our hearings, and the indictment reads very much like what she laid out during that hearing, that this was an intentional, multi-part plan to prevent the transfer of power and disrupt democracy. So the facts aren't new. There's really nothing here beyond some anecdotes about conversations between Mike Pence and the president. But the core story has been there from the beginning. The difference is that this is coming now to a court of law. And people may be skeptical about Congress. We had a lot of criticism about our process. They're certainly skeptical about the media uncovering these same facts. But now it's going into a federal courtroom where these facts will be presented and tested. Maybe those same facts, despite the fact that the lack of novelty of them, will resonate more with people because they will be put through the crucible of a criminal trial. I hope so, because they really are shocking. They really are discouraging. I say that as an American, not as a January 6th investigator. I'm waiting for them to make a difference. I hope that now that they're in a courtroom, they will.
Tim, good morning. We've been noting this morning as we read through this 45-page indictment just how many, if not all of the voices telling Donald Trump that he lost the election were Republicans, were people close to him, not just Republicans, but people who worked alongside him, who had supported him through some dark days for the country, some things that probably were unconscionable, but this was their line. You lost the election. None of this stuff, this garbage you're hearing is true. You lost the election. So it mirrors kind of what you all did in the January 6th committee, where so many of those witnesses worked for Donald Trump, worked in the West Wing, were in the rooms where these conversations were happening. How important was it to you to have those voices, just as we see in this indictment?
Tremendously important, Willie, and it enhances the credibility of the evidence when it comes from people that are close to the conspiracy, to the lead defendant. all of our witnesses were in the room where things happened. They were Trump appointees. They were members of his administration. So therefore, it'll be very difficult for President Trump's lawyers to argue some sort of bias or that they are lying because they have a personal grudge against the president. In a conspiracy, in any conspiracy, the most important evidence comes from inside, right? You want to get people who were there for conversations, who were present for acts in furtherance of the conspiracy. We fortunately had a lot of really courageous Republican insiders who came forward. Those same people have come forward before the special counsel's grand jury, and they will come forward at trial. And they, frankly, are the silver linings of hope in here in this story, because they did the right thing and put principle over party.
Tim, Claire McCaskill here. I know that from my perspective, and I think from most Americans' perspective, the January 6th committee was really the impetus for the Department of Justice getting serious about this particular case. And one of the reasons it was so powerful was because the story was told on television. And it was a very clear story, riddled with important facts, riddled with important witnesses, and everyone got to see it real time. As you are aware, Rule 53 in the federal system says no cameras, no broadcast. To me, that is another form of criminal in this instance, that the people of this country will not be able to see this trial. Do you see any way that Chief Justice Roberts could change Rule 53 and allow the American people inside the courtroom doors into a courtroom that they own and they have a stake in?
That's a really interesting question, Claire, and I hadn't really thought about it. You're right. I mean, that's the tradition and the rules in federal court do not allow cameras. And the policy for that is that we don't want lawyers to be grandstanding or to deviate from presenting facts objectively, but rather be conscious of perception. Arguably, this is, a case of great significance that could justify a change in that policy. I doubt it, though. But look, I'm reassured that facts are what matters. The January 6th committee on which I served was only successful because we got really good facts. Lawyers are only as good as the facts that they have. So Jack Smith has those same facts and arguably even more. And while they may not play out on television, but will rather be presented inside of a federal courtroom, facts matter. And I hope in America that ultimately those facts do get through to enough people that we learn from this. The other mandate of the Select Committee that we don't talk much about is the sort of prospective recommendations and the lessons learned to try to prevent this from happening again. And that is all based on fact.
Former lead investigator for the January 6th Select Committee, Timothy Hafey, thank you very much for coming on this historic morning.